new challenge for me?
Thank Providence you are alive and well.
Always on time, eh, Coonrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You could set your chrono by it.
Mort, hold yourself together.
What, did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away.
Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent. The Vox Master is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report!
I have not yet received word from the Engineerium regarding any Gellerfield failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny.
Lunatics, fools, heretics. This ship houses thousands upon thousands of people. Pernicious thoughts and warp-induced delusions could have tainted any one of them. It is a difficult notion to accept, but such risks are inescapable. First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure. And I have the means to do both things at once. Edelthrad, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons.
I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on Transitional Deck 18.
Blast it! Master of Whispers, find Edelthrad immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlas and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-militant, with me. I must go to my study. And it appears we might encounter heretics along the way.
If I may, Lord Captain. Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Edelthrad back, I could use some support. After all, I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the House as the esteemed Arch-Militant, and taking into consideration Edelthrad's psyker powers.
Then it's settled. Find Edelthrad and bring him here. In whatever state you find him. This elevator leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand? Then move out! Mort, come.
Are you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk, and you do not even have proper gear. Of course you will. Lady Theodora would never have someone she couldn't rely on as one of her heirs. But that is no longer relevant. Careful, careful. Be gentle with our guest. He has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warrant Chamber. And for that, I need him breathing. Ah, you are back with us, I see. Delightful. How perceptive of you. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it out of you myself. We are in the anteroom of the Warrant Chamber, this void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power. The sacred Warrant of Trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates to the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel.
High levels of caustic humors. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance? Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
There is still another way!
None shall stand in my way.
Escort the child of the house to safety. Voxcast frequencies disrupted.
Voxmaster, restore communication with the navigator's sanctum. I am trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once. I repeat, regroup all available forces and head...
Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection. Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel standing by. Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the Rogue Trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by. Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations. Middle and upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the Warren Chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile...
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Run, fools, or fall!
Master! What? Whatever are you doing in the Warren Chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me! What is the meaning of this? What? Serving the gods of the war? Kunrad is a heretic! Oh, Voidfear, you void rat! Madness. And this mutiny is likewise his doing, no doubt. Saints' blood! And it is small wonder that the heretics are so well organized. I thought his order to seal the passages between decks was his attempt to stop the attackers from spreading to other levels. But now I see the real reason. It was to stop the enforcers from intervening. At least you are alive, and now safe, Master. Alas, I doubt we can afford to look for a compartment to sit out this disaster. You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit. And for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense. Here.
I tire of
Look no further. Let's patch you up.
Thank you. Now, where were we?
Sometimes you can...
We shall prevail. It's about time.
Arm yourself. Our enemies may find us at any moment.
A bit of humility never hurts anyone. I help others better themselves by wholeheartedly humiliating them at every step.
That is a noticeable improvement. Now you're prepared for the trials ahead. The lower decks are teeming with heretics instigating the rabble to revolt. But that is the least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation on the middle decks is much worse, although strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So, apart from scattered voxcasts, we have no information to go on. But that is not the worst of it all. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the navigator and the master helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the war and into real space. I fear that they may have already lost control. We must reach the navigator's sanctum and get a handle on the situation. If we can manage that, some aboard this vessel may yet survive. During warp transit, the sanctum is closed to all who are not involved in traversing the Empyrean. And for good reason. For the navigator to open their third eye and perceive the way, the sanctum must be bathed in the energies of the immaterium. Only a navigator can withstand such an ordeal. For the rest of us, any contact with the warp is fraught with perils such as loss of sanity, spontaneous mutations, and death. Lady Theodorus. Which one? The last one I received was about the Navigator's Sanctum, and that was a good while ago. In any case, let us hope that the Lord Captain is well, and safely in charge of the ship's defense. In the meantime, we must do all we can to prevent the ship from veering off course. Come. The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the rogue trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved. Onward!
You'll make a suitable sacrifice!
I'll see you terminated!
You'll make a suitable sacrifice! Death to the weak! Chaos guides me!
Victory is imminent. The more, the better.
Death to non-believers! Ah! Out of my way! Ah! I serve the ruinous powers! Ah!
Just a minor setback.
I shall not fear. All too easy. Nothing I can't. You didn't stand a chance.
Chaos guides me!
Pain and duty go hand in hand. At your beck and call. It will be done. I took care of this one.
Death to the weak! Chaos guides me!
You regret this. Suits my purposes.
That's not the Seneschal's job. Reduced to dust!
I won't tolerate weakness. I'm always ready. I tire of idleness. Let's move. doubt is for...
What advice do you seek?
I hear it here on the threshold of the blinded guide. Doom comes from the heavens.
Master, watch your head. Idira, would it be too much to ask that you phrase your soothsayings plainly for once? That was too close.
Sorry, old man. Their voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh, Abala, how they sing.
This is Idira Tlas, personal psyker and diviner of Her Ladyship Theodora von Valancius. Idira?
I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp that is seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate. To die in the waves of the immaterium, fall under the burning rays of the final dawn. And in the roaring blaze, I see a figure standing. Who is it? I have no answer. The voices from beyond the threshold whisper to me. Sometimes their murmurs are clear, they grant insight. Sometimes they drive me mad. But I am patient. I know how to listen and discern. But now, with this clamor around me, too many voices, too loud. And you, Von Valancius, are a sorcerer too, just like the other one. Lady Theodora must have grown so fond of psychers she wants one to replace her.
Officer's frequency. To all who can hear me, those with a weapon in their hands are to gather on the officer's deck at once. I repeat, gather on the officer's deck at once and prepare to launch a counterattack.
That's Edelthrat. Oh, Emperor's Providence. The other heir lives as well. Quickly, we must head to...
Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, Lady Theodora's heirs won't be any good to us. If Edelthrat's like me and hasn't yet surrendered his mind or body to the mercy of the warp, then he can still hold on a little longer without...
Blast it. You're right. First, we need to deal with what is happening here.
The whispers called me. The ones I could make out among all the screams and screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurt. They went after the navigator, our guide through the warp. Other whispers called me to the engineerium, but it was too late. I heard the cry of our master Cog, and the silence that followed.
What? You don't mean the Engineer Prime is...
Said, without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shriek from the Navigator's sanctum was louder than the rest. And it's better that we saved the Navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or a cook from the middle decks. Oh no. No. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling on your skin? The eyes watching you? The warp ice has already encased the bulkheads. What follows is calamity. But we're not just going to stand here and take it, are we? The state of things in here suggests there's a navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces just yet, his third eye must be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So what are we moping around for? Let's go protect that noble mutant while we're still alive.
We are the spearhead of the Imperium.
My whispers crave entertainment.
I'm always ready. A new challenge for me. We must act.
Run, fools, or fall!
Let's get to it.
I'll live another day.
To non-believers!
Crush the feeble.
Out of my way!
Indeed. At your beck and call. One fewer target.
I serve the ruinous power!
Will do. What an unfortunate turn of fate. But of course,
Nothing I can't do. All too easy. Nothing of value has been lost.
my lead. I took care of this one.
I know what is to come. On it. Will do.
My tactics are flawless. Not my specialty. Opposing me was your biggest mistake.
I believe Master Vespider still lives. Well, the servants are dead, but the chamber, thank the Emperor, is still sealed from the warp. Well, we have a chance of leaving this place alive.
Wounded. Exhausted. Fighting back the endless horrors of the warp that are forcing their way into his head. Pick one.
Your time is short.
Fall to your knees, mortals, and behold the final dawn.
Ah! It came from beyond! His body is not his!
Its march thunders under the burden of hopes. Unseal your hearts, and I will flood your souls with myriads of words and meanings, each one a portent of salvation within me.
Run. Flee from this place while I still have the strength. I can contain the intrusion, but not for long. We must begin the translation. Leave the wall. But it can't be done without the Master Helmsman's help.
The ship can only begin the translation with the assistance of the Master Helmsman, if he is still alive. It is worth a try. We must get to the bridge, but we will need support. Our only option is to fight our way to the officer's deck and join forces with Edelthrad and his people. I believe we will also find Lady Theodora there. She must have heard the call to arms that the servo skull relayed to us earlier.
Vespidas. Good luck. And thank you.
Victory awaits! Doubt is for the weak. I'm always ready. I'll lay claim to the stars. I tire of idleness. Let's move. Follow my lead!
Ship's as good as ours! It's all over for you!
I shall pity not your enemies. I shall heed not their pleas.
Somebody shoot these...
I shall betray not your tenets, nor stray one step from them. Take not your gaze from me. Leave me not without your grace.
I told you he would protect us.
My God, my light, my Emperor.
Sister Argenta! Sister Argenta, it is a relief to see you. We require all the forces we can muster.
Your face, it is unfamiliar. Who are you? The hour is dark and daunting. Ship abounds with corruption. The faces of friends are twisted by sneers of heresy. The eyes of comrades ignite with the archenemy's hunger. I will do what I must to halt the advance of the Dark Forces. But in these dire moments, little can be trusted. So I must know, why are you here?
Sister, I beg of you. Now is not the time for interrogations. The ship is under attack by heretics. We've been betrayed by our esteemed Master of Whispers. Edelstrad the Heir is waiting for our aid, and Lord Captain Theodora is expecting a report on our success. We are here to deal with the situation. So I suggest we all do just that.
Very well. We may leave it at that, for now. I cannot wait to rain righteous fire down upon each and every heretic!
Sister Argenta is a guest of the Lord Captain. And that story deserves its own time and conversation. Under more appropriate circumstances.
Enough idle chatter. I am where I must be, and that will suffice.
Massacre, my lord! And heretics are not just killing the crew. Some kind of blight is sweeping through the decks, filling the air. I saw people going mad the moment they breathed it in, screaming about seeing their dead comrades, tearing out their eyes. I implore you, my lord, be on your guard.
Through this door. I shall join you, for it is my duty to the God Emperor to destroy this heresy.
We will follow. For now, we will hold off any heretics who might try to crawl in through the cracks to join the main assault. And we'll take a look at the generators while we're at it. Those villains made a mess of the cables. Oh, I wish we had a Tectomat with us. But we'll see what we can do without one.
Good to hear it. Sister?
Ready. May Terra's light illuminate our path through fire and darkness.
None shall stand in my way. A new challenge for me? We must act.
We are the spearhead of the Imperium.
It's about time.
I will deliver furious retribution! Your Emperor won't save you! Bring ruin.
I've suffered
Chaos guides me.
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart. Doubt is for the weak. Such is the will of chaos.
Brace yourself, Abelard. Death to the weak.
Not a problem for me. Suits my purposes.
Anything else?
It will be done. Victory is imminent.
I will not. I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury. As the Emperor commands, I act. I refuse. Ministration is a holy task.
Chaos guides me.
Just a minor setback.
Nothing of value has been lost.
Already done.
There is movement in the Empyrean. But of course.
Death to non-believers.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. I've suffered worse. It will be done.
Out of my way.
I serve the ruinous powers.
Rejoice in battle! I'll do it.
I serve the ruinous powers!
It's nothing.
Suits my purposes.
Be gone.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time. On you attack.
Pain cleanses the body.
Injuries will not slow.
Not a problem for me.
Will do. What an unfortunate turn of fate.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Did I mention that my whispers tell me jokes? Jokes that
Your doubt is for the weak.
Attention to detail is the key to success.
I rise to the occasion. I did fine. Excellence matters. Victory awaits! Done. I rise to the occasion. Follow my lead.
The Emperor favors me today.
I did fine. I tire of idleness. Let's move. A new challenge for me?
The Whispers told me a secret.
Are you lost, my heir?
An apparition. A sorceress. Apparition. Trickery of the warp.
Sister, you will lower your weapon. Threatening the Lord Captain is outrageous.
I am a rogue trader. I am wherever my will demands me to be. Would you prefer to be elsewhere at this time? Indubitably. But are you ready?
Do not listen to this abomination. If there is naught but his light in your heart, if you are resolute in your...
To the void with you. We need to follow Lady Theodora before we suffocate in this furnace.
The people! The survivors from the middle decks! We must help the crew! Lead them out! Find a way around!
Then we'll miss our chance to meet up with Edel... What are we waiting for?
I won't tolerate weakness.
Where did she... go? The thing that was standing in front of us in the fire? I could have sworn.
To the same place all unholy visions go. Do you want to follow it, witch? Never doubt me.
Too late. We are too late. Or perhaps Edelthrad and his escort never made it here.
Or they could be fighting on the bridge as we speak.
My lord, I beg your pardon for interrupting. The people are asking for orders. You came back to save us. So now we will follow you through thick and thin.
To the bridge. If Edelthrad is there, then he requires immediate assistance. I say there is one thing that I find most troubling. The Lord Captain's Voxcasts. They are still coming in, even though it would make sense for Lady Theodora to be on the bridge right now, at the head of the counter-assault. I feel uneasy. What if the Lord Captain is besieged in her own chambers? With your permission, I suggest that we confirm for ourselves that she is not. We can use the same elevator that Lady Theodora and Mort headed for earlier.
I'll lay claim to the stars. What is that?
Cast your eye there.
We shall prevail. None shall stand in my way. It's about time.
Emperor, accept thy faithful souls.
No! Lord Captain, I didn't hear a thing. Not a whisper, not a breath. It was so loud. Why didn't I foresee this?
Lord Captain. Who would even dare? Unless that rat, Voidsphere. First, betrayal. Now, the murder of the rogue trader. And Mort. How could Mort have failed her so terribly? The Arch-Militant was born on a death world. He had lightning-fast reflexes.
I can look at things in my own way. If you find something that might bear the imprint of the killer, just give it to me, and I'll try to see what secrets it holds. Streaks of color, luminescence, blue lights, faces, drawing closer. Lady Theodora, and Conrad, and what is that? Ah! Something dark, enormous. Oh, this glass thing was something foul, that's for sure. Tainted witchcraft. It doesn't work like that. I can try to read the memories of objects, but dead bodies are a different story. Something like that would require her soul. And after what we saw on the officer's deck, I won't risk searching for it in a warp.
Yes, the crucible of battle calls to me once more.
No, wait! lost!
Idira, you can't bring her back. Let her go.
You'd give up so easily, old man? I expected as much from the sister. It's not like she has a heart. But you? Oh no. I'll get to the bottom of this. I'll find the one responsible for murdering the Lord Captain. And when I do, that scum will regret the day they were born.
Victory awaits. Doubt is for the weak. I'm always ready. Follow my lead!
Whispers are getting louder. All of you will bleed!
At your beck and call. It will be done. Reduced to dust! I took care of this one.
Suits my purposes. Already done. Nothing I can't do.
Faith without deeds. I'll do it.
Was
Leave her to rot.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Take all of you with me!
I'd rather not. Victory is imminent. Someone else can do this.
Suits my purposes.
Doubt is for the weak.
Time to redouble our efforts. My ears are ringing. I will do my duty.
a problem for me. All too easy. I'll pass. You won't fell me! You're at a tactical disadvantage!
That's not the Seneschal's job. At your beck and call. Indeed.
Brace yourself, Abelard.
My place is at the fore. At your beck and call.
Time to prove my mettle.
I won't tolerate weakness. A new challenge for me? I tire of idleness. Let's move. None shall stand in my way. Absolutely not.
Emperor. No!
No. How?
I see. Tainted with... Yes. No! You give...
I'll lay claim to the stars.
I'll show my where I want for they will.
More enemies to face judgment. We are truly blessed this day.
The Masters demand your death!
I will do my duty.
Already done. Suits my purposes.
As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it. Faith without depravity.
Will do. But of course.
Suffered worse.
Victory is computer.
Not a problem for me.
I'll do it. Guided by faith. As the Emperor commands, I act.
Will do. What's recon?
Follow my lead.
All too easy.
I'll do it.
Anything else? Just as I foretold.
You didn't stand a chance!
Follow my lead.
Look no
Doubt is for the weak. We shall prevail.
The Emperor sets my path.
It's about time. We must act. Excellence matters.
The first sacrifice opens the eye. The second sacrifice draws its gaze.
Help has arrived. Too late to change the tide, I'm afraid. But if there is any honor in you, we can at least die with dignity and give our lives for the rogue trader. God, Emperor, preserve us. The rogue traitor is dead. The ship, no matter what ritual Kunrad is performing there, the warp is too strong. I cannot withstand it.
I've seen it before. We'd better get away from him. The changes are already accelerating.
Words worthy of a righteous soul.
Save the lofty words for later, will you? The navigator's ready to take the ship out of the warp if he gets some help from the bridge.
then we have no right to bow our heads. We are out of time! No. To die altogether is to allow the flame of the dynasty to... The ritual will not be completed. I'll take care of it. And you...
Accursed traitor! A time will come when you will bleed!
What? Theodora is... dead? No.
Your ritual won't be finished, heretic!
Suffer not the heretic to live! Let the blood flow!
Already done. Suits my purposes.
Faith without deeds is worthless. As the Emperor comes, it's the Emperor's judgment.
At your beck and call. Indeed. Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. At your beck and call.
Will do.
Break their morale! Chaos guides me!
Oh, my ears are ringing.
I must not falter.
I've suffered worse.
Not my specialty. Not a problem for me. All too easy.
No matter the cost! It will be done. Victory is imminent. At your beck and call. It will be done.
I am not doomed. I'm not injured. I'm enraged.
Anything else? Was it you? Or...
Death to the weak!
Stop it!
Brace yourself, Camelot!
Moving out!
That was insulting. Already done. Nothing I can't do.
That is not my destiny. I'm not so sure.
I've suffered worse. At your beck and call. Victory is imminent.
I am your doom!
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone! Doubt is for the weak.
They who discern the future on the battlefield. On it. Not the Scryer's job.
Chaos guides me.
Follow my lead.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
I don't have time for this. Not a problem for me.
As the Emperor commands.
My ears are ringing.
I'll do it.
But of course. Anything else?
Death to non-believers!
All too easy.
It will be done. Indeed. Grey hair, sure hair.
Faith without deeds is worthless. Ministration is a holy task.
Was that you? Or...
Nothing I can't do. Absolutely not. Not my specialty. I don't have time for this.
At your beck and call. Your seneschal is always there.
I tire of idleness. Let's move. A new challenge for me? Doubt is for the weak.
Victory awaits!
The heir is dead. He sacrificed himself to save the entire dynasty.
Old man, he was never going to make it. He was mutating right in front of us. You just ended his suffering sooner.
Rivor, Master Helmsman, systems status report.
By the Emperor, it's the Seneschal. Living and breathing. Well, there's a tricky question. The old place is so overgrown with foul wickedry, we'll be scrubbing it off the vid screens for throne knows how long.
Restore the Vox channel to the Navigator's Sanctum. Ready the crew. Prepare for translation to real space. You may call me superstitious, but translation is not a good time to disregard rules. You are the only one who speaks for House von Valancius. You may not be the Lord Captain, but you, more than anyone else, deserve to take her place in the ritual that is about to commence.
Take the Lord Captain's seat. Order the final preparations. Wait for the officers to report and... blast it all to the void! Translation is a craft, not something to be explained in a tick. Just go up to the throne, Master. These people are about to do the impossible. The least they...
Who are you to oppose destiny itself for the sake of lives that are not your own? So many threads stretch between you and other creatures of your world. Pitiful, worthless links, ready to shatter at the slightest touch. A muddled, erratic, pointless tangle.
The aspirant vowed to return with a trophy, a relic that could serve the edge of daybreak. That fate was assured, and the steps chosen. And yet, you broke the unbreakable when you took the aspirant's place.
Your image is woven into the tapestry of things to come. I am the will of the weaver of destinies, and today I will weave a new thread of elusive possibilities and fickle chances.
The path is set, child of the dawn.
Seneschal, the Navigator's Sanctum is silent.
The Navigator gave his life battling the storm that nearly claimed the von Valancius flagship. We will honor his memory.
Seneschal, will you tell us now? Who is that?
As First Officer, it is my duty to inform you with the greatest regret and indelible sorrow that Lord, by right of blood succession, and with the absence of other kin who could challenge this decision,
it is hereby declared that the successor to Theodora von Valancius is her heir, the rightful inheritor of the Warrant of Trade, and the title of Rogue Trader. The official ascension ceremony will be held at a later time. In the interim, have you lost your tongues? Hail your lord. It is because of his toils that we all still live. The deed is done, Master. Ah, My apologies. I meant to say Lord Captain.
The treachery of the Master of Whispers was fruitless, but victory came at a great cost. Lord Captain Theodora von Valencius perished along with her heir, Edelthrad, and thousands of crew members. Yet hope remained. For the second in line to the Rogue Trader dynasty survived. And through the strength of his resolve, saved those who were counting on him for protection.
Lord Captain. A noble aspiration, Lord Captain. I am ready to acquaint you with all the particulars that interest you. In the first instance, you should treat official representatives of the Imperium with respect. The Expanse may be on the fringes, but it still numbers among the territories of the Golden Throne. The arrival of the Lord Inquisitor has turned the Coronis Expanse into a less wild and uncontrolled region, to the regret of some individuals who had grown inured to the local lawlessness. Rogue traders such as yourself are also servants of the Imperium. They have been accorded special rights and powers. They wield immense authority within their territory, and they enjoy absolute respect in other parts of the Expanse. The most powerful of them are Kalagos Winterscale and Incendia Bastal Chorda. Tread carefully when dealing with either of them. If we are to speak of unclaimed territory, which is what Footfall is, among the scum that dwells on that handful of asteroids, there are 3 factions that wield considerable influence in the sector. The first is the Kazbala Commission, organized crime in its most primitive form. It holds sway over the Liege of Footfall and has links to rogue trader Winterscale. The second faction is an offshoot of our shining ecclesiarchy, followers of St. Drusus. They are actively building their forces and hold influence over rogue trader Chorda. And finally, the third faction, the Explorators, a wing of the Adeptus Mechanicus. They are willing to die and kill for the secrets of the ancient technological heresies that are hidden among the stars of the Coronis Expanse. This is a topic for an official briefing, not a casual conversation. But I will try to answer succinctly. And if you permit, in my own words, the Coronis Expanse is considerably removed from the heart of the Imperium. This means that local warp routes become useless within months. Established pathways are regularly subject to attacks from all kinds of rabble. And in the only major port, the Imperium's frigates find themselves moored alongside pirate vessels. Until recently, the Coronis Expanse could hardly have been called a region of the Imperium. The situation has changed with the arrival of the Lord Inquisitor, but not by much. This place operates under its own rules, you see. More radical, so to speak. But ones that allow for a non-standard approach where there is a promise of victory. The Coronis Expanse is considered rogue trader territory for a reason. Only rogue traders have sufficient military might, audacity, and the rights granted them by the warrant to survive the leap into the unexplored part of the Expanse. And in the event of a successful outcome, to hold on to whatever they manage to capture on the frontier. You know, Lord Captain, I am no admirer of fine art. But when we next find ourselves in a civilized port, with time to spare, I will promptly find an artist and commission a portrait of the individual to whom you refer, with a hole between the eyes. Conrad Voigtveer. That he committed his treachery and escaped with his life was an unforgivable oversight. We both served Lord Captain Theodora for many years, and we never saw eye to eye. He was brash. He was never afraid of assuming responsibility, and he willingly took on difficult tasks. I am loath to admit it, but the Von Valacius Protectorate continues to reap the fruits of his labors to this day. His service always garnered my respect. But everything else about him made me want to wring the neck of that two-faced snake. If you are taking comfort in the thought that we will hear no more of Conrad, prepare to be disappointed. You thwarted his plans, his meticulously plotted and nurtured treachery. He is sure to attempt to strike at you, and he will use his contacts and knowledge of the Protectorate to do so. The only question, Lord Captain, is whether you will be able to anticipate his next steps. As you wish, Lord Captain. As you wish, Lord Captain. What would you like to know? I used to be an officer in the Navis Imperialis. No, I used to be is not quite right. It was not simply a job. It was my calling, the essence of my life. I was proud to serve Lord Captain Theodora, but in my heart and mind, I'm still an officer of the Imperium. I met Lord Captain Theodora on a mission where the Imperial Navy was providing reinforcement to the rogue traders' army on one of the frontier worlds. Our acquaintance was not easy. Working with people outside the Navy hierarchy has never been my strong suit. It was to my great surprise then, that after the mission's completion, I received a referral to leave my service in the Navy and join the rogue trader's personal council. It was a difficult choice for me. But I saw in the offer a chance to serve the interests of humanity even more effectively than in the Navis Imperialis. You do not need me to tell you just how remarkable a person Lord Captain Theodora was. I recognized her at once as a true leader and formidable creative force. One who had built a protectorate amidst the dangers and wildness of the Expanse. You could say there was no one among the Naval Command who was willing to impede the wishes of the rogue trader. To do so would be to risk their own position and their relationship with Theodora. The Lord Captain possessed certain contacts in the Imperial Navy. Contacts which she used to request help during the conflict on the border world. And which enabled her to make me an offer that resulted in my joining her retinue. The Navis Imperialis is an ancient institution with its own mandates and muster lists. On occasion, in the heat of an official briefing, or an informal discussion, I violated those rules, determined to press my point. It is challenging to choose the words to accurately express my opinion on a situation or the actions of others that do not sound overly scathing or confrontational. Many in command were inclined to view my manner of speaking as unbefitting a person of my rank. Of course. Lord Captain. Lord Captain. Lord Captain.
Rogue trader. I indeed have a request, Rogue trader. The accursed servants of Chaos who assaulted this ship took the lives of your loyal crew members, and they orphaned many children, including the progeny of the brave officers who defended their posts until the bitter end. I don't know what customary practices there are for cases like this in Von Valancia's territory, but in the world I'm familiar with, the children of such brave souls could expect to receive some special consideration. Perhaps the rogue trader could meet with the orphans? I will pass on your instructions. Thank you for taking my request to heart. Greetings. Gladly, there are none more faithful to the God Emperor than my sisters. We fight against his enemies by the will of the Holy Ecclesiarchy. We... I beg your pardon, rogue trader. Here I am talking about what every lesser noble in the Imperium knows. None that I'm aware of, but the Sisterhood's orders are many, and can operate independently of one another, sending their sisters wherever their presence is needed as deemed by the Ecclesiarchy. Perhaps somewhere in the Lord Inquisitor's retinue, may his path be blessed, my sisters perform their duty as we speak. I wish it were so. Even a single evening spent in joint prayer and training would bring me joy. Once I had completed my novitiate, I was sent to the Calixian branch of the Order of Our Martyred Lady, assigned to the Order's Pronatus. The Order's mission is vital and noble. The Sisters Pronatus protect great relics of the Imperium. We guard them, preserve them, escort them when they are brought onto the battlefield or presented for pilgrims to venerate. And we seek out the relics that have been lost. Neither a coven of heretics nor the most wicked Death World can deter Sisters Pronatus when their goal is to return a piece of the great legacy of the Imperium into the hands of the faithful. Don't let the name deceive you. The Order's militant trains sisters to march onto the battlefield as an army. That does not make sisters who belong to the non-militant orders timid and helpless. Both the solace-bringing Sisters Hospitaller and the enlightened Sisters Dialogus know how to greet enemies of humanity. Their dialogue with heretics is usually quite short, with the last word being a bolter discharge. And my order has all the more reason to be known for the martial prowess of its sisters. We are the keepers of the Imperium's relics. What would become of our blessed hero's legacy if the Sisters Pronatus could not protect it? Should any more arise, keeping them to yourself would be imprudent. It is a virtue to take an interest in holiness. I first came here when I found myself in need of passage from Footfall to a remote planet. But I imagine what interests you is not that first journey, but rather, I made a mistake. In a moment of laxity, I was ambushed by the accursed followers of the archenemy. I was badly wounded. Lady Theodora came to my aid and brought me aboard her ship, where crew attended to me in my weakened state. It all happened not too long ago. I had barely recovered from my wounds when the cultists struck. Truly, the servants of evil know no rest. There is no place where we can be safe from their machinations. Sadly, they did not. Lady Theodora was in a hurry and chose not to stay on the planet. Her people took me to a ship while I was unconscious, and when I came to my senses, we were already flying away. How I pray to come face to face with those heretics once more. On one of the recently discovered planets in the Expanse. No one suspected that it had already been tainted by the path to that planet was lost. All the knowledge is gone, along with the previous navigator. It would take immense effort and resources to rediscover the route. The heir to the von Valanci's protectorate must have plenty of other issues to deal with right now. Perhaps later, when the skies above our heads have cleared. I hadn't been here that long. Just one journey from Footfall, and the other journey, the majority of which I spent in the confines of the Medbay. I can't tell you much about the first voyage. I was more focused on prayers and ruminations than on the people around me, or the journey itself. During the last journey, Seneschal Viserion stood out for me. He came by several times to ask about my health. He's an honorable man and a loyal servant of the Imperium. I think he is as meticulous in his inspections of the logistic systems as he is in his inquiries about the health of the occasional sister of battle aboard the ship. But not all of Theodora's people have earned my trust. You know who I'm talking about. There is no place for Adira Tlas among the God Emperor's faithful. I'm surprised she wasn't in league with the cultists. And I'm equally surprised by how deep heresy and treason run in this place. I'm glad we all made it through that dark hour. May the day that follows be bright. As you wish.
All right, let's hear what they're whispering about you. Seek not on firm ground, but in a golden hall suspended in the void. There waits a child without kin, but with a name blind to truth. She draws the brush across the canvas and does not notice that her palette is full not of paint, but of blood. And with each smear, this well does not deplete, but fills and fills up to the brim. One thing is clear. When this vessel overflows, none will remain unstained. Among the blind men and false prophets, a red-robed sage seeks the answer to a question. He does not know that it is not the answer he must seek, but the question that will draw everything into focus. Will you help him, Rogue Trader? But mark that sometimes ignorance is sweeter than oblivion. A chained hound chases after glimmers of the aurora, but sparks in the scent of oil confound his nose. The chain trails after him. What will happen if you pick it up? Will you become his master, or merely another beast in the path of his true lord? The glow of dawn bursts forth from its prison. Dungeon walls cannot contain the dark essence wallowing in the dust. A naive cub pushes his nose into a familiar hand, one that holds death in twisted glass. Cherish it or cast it off as a burden. The sword of change has already been raised. What is one more life to it?
I'm sorry, Lord Captain. The voices are going wild. I can't make out a thing. I'll try to rein them in, somehow. But for now...
The little sister is afflicted with her own set of voices. Ones that whisper to her about corruption and heresy. The silly girl doesn't realize that if she wants to find the source, she needs to start by looking in her own head.
None of the officers knew the Lord Captain well. Not even Abelard, and she was always closer to him than anyone else. She told me from the off if I ever listened to anything in the warp about her without her permission, I'd be going out through the airlock. It's hard to wrap my head around the fact that she's gone. Lady von Valancius gave me everything I have. She opened the stars to me and the paths between them. I still think I can hear her voice. What are you talking about, Lord Captain? Look, Lady Theodora couldn't care less if some eggheads measured my brains or not. It's not about the seal on your forehead, get it? It's about what's in your gut, if it's rotten or not. My gut's stronger than the adamantine on this here ship. And my implants are better than the ones they put in you on your Terra. If they weren't, I wouldn't have lived as long as I have. Lyra. An outlying world in the Heathen Stars region. In the Coronis Expanse, the deeper you go, the less visible the Astronomicon gets, and the less people know about the Imperium. The arrival of a rogue trader is the best thing that can happen to a world like that. The very best. Theodora von Valancius paid a visit to the ruler I was serving at the time. I don't know what the visit was for, and it's no business of mine anyway. And as I gawped at her, all of a sudden I heard a whisper. A hint, a suggestion, nothing more. But I know the difference between idle chatter and a real threat. I seized my chance and approached Theodora. I managed to whisper a couple of words in her ear before the wardens dragged me away. They beat me and locked me up. No wonder. It wasn't my place to converse with outsiders. And then, Theodora's people came for me. They broke down the wall, butchered their guards, also I could tell them my warning in full. So I said the rest, but I didn't want to go back to my old life. And so I entered the service of the von Valancius dynasty. Of course, Lord Captain. Of course. Always at your service. Whenever you need me.